NHL insiders reveal a huge update on the William Nylander contract extension, and we're going to break all of it down for you coming up on this episode of Hattrick HQ. But before we get into it, just want to say we're on the push for 3,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this and you aren't subscribed, make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button. But with that said, let's get right into the main topic of the video today, which is Nylander Extension nearing. And as we take a look here from NHL insider Nick Kyprios, he said here it's trending closer to the Leafs and Willie getting a deal done is what I hear. And he also came out and said the other belief is that it will be a number that's over 11 million. 11.25 million is the one that is probably mentioned the most, times 8 over an 8-year deal at 11.25 million. They also say here the other thing you got to consider is that when the Leafs can front load this and turn it into a 12 or 13 million upfront signing bonus, it's worth a heck of a lot more than 11.25 million. It creates greater value in real money. And they also go on to say here from Elliot Friedman, he says he thinks the Nylander extension could happen as early as this week. And just for you guys, we're bringing up William Nylander's stats. Obviously, he's on a career year here this year, 50 points through 35 games with 19 goals, 31 assists. And Mark, I mean, it's no shock to anybody that William Nylander is probably a close second to the best player, or you could make an argument for the best player on the Leafs this season. And, you know, the big news around Toronto is when is he going to sign this extension and how much is it going to be for? And I think 11.25 million for what he's doing this year, or the performance he's putting on, is really justified.
Yeah, the big thing is you had the cap number at about 10 million from a lot of insiders at the start of the year. It seemed like the Leafs kind of pushed away from this. They wanted to extend it, and this might have bit him in the butt a tiny bit. As we see Nylander's having an outstanding year. He looks incredible, but there's almost three things you need to really look at when you're looking at this contract. The first thing is the Leafs can offer him the most from any other team. He knows this. This agent knows this. The Leafs know this. The Leafs are one of the most valuable teams in the league. They can offer him an 8-year deal, which no other team can do. So most of the team could do is maybe, 7 with $12 million per year. But the Leafs can offer him that extra year, which adds on to his total salary. They can also front load this with so much signing bonuses, just so much real money, just paid straight to his pocket every July 1st. So that's another benefit. The second thing you really need to look at is, can the Leafs afford this? And I know a lot of people are always saying, oh, the Leafs don't have caps. They can't do this. They can't do that. But when you look at this, going into this offseason coming up, Leafs have about $18 million, I believe, of free cap. You have guys like Bertuzzi, Domi, Brody, Samsonov. There's so many contracts going out that it frees up so much money. So say if Brody didn't return for some reason and you give Nylander his $4 million raise, that would put him at just around the $11 million mark. You still have that extra $1 million to work with, plus about $17 million more to kind of, fill this roster out, bring Bertuzzi back, bring a guy like Domi back, whatever it may be. And then you got to look at the aspect of, is he worth the 11.25 million if this is what he signs for? And in my opinion, yes. You look at Nylander, he is a superstar in this league. I know a lot of people argue otherwise, but this guy's on pace for 100 points. He's been outstanding through his career. We've seen him score 40 goals. He gets 80 points, 87, 100, whatever it may be. This guy's been a playoff performer for the Leafs. He's put up points in the playoffs when a lot of guys kind of shied away. We've seen Matthews at times kind of struggle in the playoffs when a lot of people put two coverages on him. But Nylander has always been there, has always done the things that we need. And we've seen a increase in his defensive play. Obviously, players have lapses sometimes, and he's not always going to look like the best defensive guy out there, but he has improved that aspect of his game. We've seen that he can play center in pinches, and he's also one of the highest scoring wingers in the league. So why not pay him like one? And I think this cap hit, if it was 8 years at 11.25, I am quite happy with it. You figure the numbers out, the cap rises by 4 million as well, and I think the Leafs are in a perfect spot.
Well, you said it perfectly. I couldn't agree more with what you said there. And obviously, like, a lot of fans and Leafs fans are worried about the cap, like you said. And when you look at it, it's really only a cap crunch for next season, because then you have guys expiring like Tavares, like Marner, and guys like this, where you could kind of swap Tavares' contract with Nylander's at this point. I mean, he's making 6.925 as of now, I believe. So maybe you give Tavares, $6, maybe $7 million when his extension comes up next season, and I really do think that this is going to work out for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I know a lot of people are speculating that they may trade William Nylander at the deadline, and I really don't see this. If this happens, I'll be shocked to my core because this guy's by far their best playoff performer, and he's been, their most consistent performer all season, in my opinion. Had multiple 10 plus point streaks throughout this season, and he deserves this money. He's shown that he's a superstar in this league, like you said. A lot of people might argue against that, but I really do think that he's a superstar in this league. He's definitely an all-star this year, with it being in Toronto, and I really do think that 11.25 isn't too far out of the range for a guy like William Nylander. Just the way he's performing this year, he's been so consistent, the best playoff performer by far on the team, and I really do hope that this extension comes soon, because I mean, there's been rumors circulating that he's been talking to the Ducks and stuff like this, but I really just think this is to get some more attention on the situation. I really don't think we see this guy traded. I really do think he's a Leaf for the next 8 years, and in that next 8 years, I don't know how many cups they're going to win, but they definitely got a chance at a couple.
Yeah, you brought up the All-Star game. I know Nylander's almost considered as a quiet guy. He's not really vocal in the media and all this, but he's a stylish guy. You see from the way he dresses, just a swagger on the ice. And I really do believe this extension happens in Toronto All-Star weekend. They announced the extension. He comes out on the home ice for the Toronto Maple Leafs, representing them in the All-Star game. The crowd goes crazy. This guy is going to sign. He loves the city. The fans love him. Management wants him here. Everything points towards him getting this extension done. And I really think it will happen. I know the Leafs organization, and like I said, Nylander are a quiet bunch. They're not going to go out and speak a lot in the media saying, oh, we're near an extension. This is what we're talking about. No, they're going to stay quiet about it. This is something that's going to break on a random Tuesday or during the All-Star game. Everyone's going to be happy. It's going to be the perfect cap hit. And like you said, Tavares is due for an extension after this season. I think he comes back on a hometown discount. He's the captain. You've seen the pictures of Pajama Boy lying in bed, wearing the blue and white in bed. This guy was made to be a Leaf. He's a captain of the Leafs. He will take a salary cut. Marner's probably not going to ask for more than he's got. So like I said, the cap's going up. You have 18 million to work with. You have a guy like Joseph Woll locked up next year at under 800K, which is an absolute steal. You can use a bit of money to go get a backup goalie, maybe a 1B goalie. You get Brody's contract off, bring him back on a cheaper deal, and you still have extra money to sign guys like Bertuzzi, Domi, maybe another defenseman, another forward, whatever it may be. In my opinion, the Leafs cap-wise are in a better spot than a lot of contending teams. You look at Boston where they have no cap room to work with, but you look at the Leafs going into deadline and just kind of getting off the Nylander talk, is the Leafs have so much cap to work with, not just now, but for the next 2 to 3 years. So getting Nylander signed is not going to be a problem. You can drop this whole Leafs have no money because they really do.
Yeah, I think people push this too far out of the range. They look at the cap number and they're like, well, we don't have enough money to sign this guy. But like you said, they don't realize that they got so many contracts coming off the books, and Brad Schliving has done a tremendous job with this, bringing guys in on 1 year deals so that they can figure out their stars and get them new contracts coming up. So I really do think, like you said, they're in a really great place with the cap situation right now. And like you said, if you see William Nylander signed All-Star break, I mean, that would just be a tremendous story. I really hope that we do see that happen. And like you said about JT wants to bring a cup to Toronto, and if it's not this season, we'll definitely see him come back for an extension after next season to try to bring a cup to Toronto, because everybody wants to see it, and you can only do it if you bring a guy like William Nylander back. He's the best playoff performer by far, and I really hope that they get this guy back on this great deal. But I really do want to hear from you guys watching this video down in the comment section below. Let us know, what do you think about 11.25 million over 8 years? Do you think it's too much? Do you think it's the perfect deal? Let us know down below in the comment section. But we're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here, and that is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Nick. He says, nice work. I don't think Savard and Allen will be near enough for Dawson Mercer. I would add more and a second round pick to get Mercer. Shout out to you, Nick. Really appreciate your comment on yesterday's video. I really do have to agree with what you're saying here. I really do think that adding a second round pick in here would be enough to sweeten the deal in Montreal's favor. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we're on the push for 3,000 subscribers, so really appreciate it if you went down, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy the NHL, make sure to check out this video that's popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, KC, alongside my co-host, Mark Pye. Keep your stick on the ice.